is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C, and welcome to the Tasha C Show podcast. Okay, I just always wanted to say out shout out to the people who have been my supporters, whether you're part of my YouTube fam or my podcast fan. I have no problem. I recommend, I know it's a shameless plug, both. If you are part of my podcast fam and you decide to follow and keep up with my podcast, don't forget to also go to YouTube and put tashactv to subscribe. If you don't put the TV, Tasha who's probably an excellent, lovely gospel singer, I haven't listened to any work, will pop up instead of me with my pink braids that I still have in my profile pic in most of my stuff, meaning social media and so forth. So anyway, y'all, also from people let them know, this is day 108. It's for my 1 year YouTube 366. I don't want to say 65 so bad this year, but it's a leap year. Video journey, which I just made last year. Started my birthday last year. I plan on ending it this year and just making a video per day, whether it's a podcast or not. So most of my videos have been the convenience of making several podcasts because I make these lovely podcasts due to Speaker Act. That y'all, so if y'all hear notification clicks and stuff like that, or sound like clipping noise, it's actually coming from my end because I am using my cell phone. Like I said, it is such a breeze using this app in order to make this lovely content. I mean, in the future, I will get, be a little more professional, but here's what y'all getting right now. So anyways, y'all, before I get into it, I just want to let y'all know, yesterday, if y'all listened to the podcast yesterday, I actually was going through the company A24 films, best 24 films, and I don't know, like I said, it was like for the past decade, because I didn't look through the whole article, nor did the title mention that, and I went through most of them, but y'all, I had caught that I was on 5, because it was the rating starting from 24 to 1, and I was on either 6 or 5, so I'm going to go through that first before I just, do my ranting, because, y'all, it's not a particular topic, but I want to go ahead. It's 7:18 p.m. actually still on January 22nd. But I'm pre-recording, y'all. Usually sometimes I wait, but since, like I said, y'all, if y'all listen to the last couple of podcasts, I'm going to a new dermatologist that my doctor's office was able to find for me. So, and I had to wait, like a month or something, even for them to find these people. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if they're going to do something right then or do a recommendation or, by then, do they have me come once a month or whatever, I don't know how they operate. I've only been to, honestly, one dermatologist. Well, not exactly one dermatologist, because sometimes they will switch up the doctor. Sometimes they will see me if the main dermatologist could not see me. But what I'm saying is that, it was at least two other dermatologists that have seen me. Only one time. But like I said, most of the time it was her. And that was the place I went to. So I do not know how they operate or what suggestions we're going to have. But I ain't going to lie, y'all. They used to give me shots for, the second year that I had. I kept getting shots, cortisone shots, as supposed to help relieve the pain, reduce the damn flare-ups, which didn't do nothing besides me up there ready to kick somebody head, give me shots, and I had to have 6 and 7 of them. Usually a person not having shots, but where I had to have shots at, that's somewhere else, okay? That's another damn story. So I don't know what's going to be the suggestion. So even if they tell me to come back, it depends. If they talking about, I need to get shots and shit, then I don't think I'm going to be going that damn much, okay? Once they talking about getting shots, it's not like I'm afraid of needles, okay? Like I said, I have 7 tats, probably going to get two more of my tats cover up, and probably end up with 2 additional ones, which probably would be at least a total of 9 tattoos by the time, including 2 more cover-ups. So I already had to have a cover-up due to the fact it was damn near scrubbed off, which I was going to get expanded anyway. But anyways, so like I said, since I have the time and I'm going to go to bed, I wanted to just go ahead and do the podcast now instead of waiting for some more, info to pop in, because sometimes there's more info, more information that pops in, you know what I mean, like towards the end of the night and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's during the evening time. It was originally when I wanted to do the other podcast, and since I have the energy now and I've been up, I'm just going to go ahead and let's see here. Okay, I thought I lost. I was going to say, oh, heck no. I can't even finish this thing. So, I wanted to go and finish, like, just briefly talking about the remaining amount of their films choices. So, I don't know if no, I'm not going to go through all that again because, unless no, because I go through too much detail, and I'm just going to keep it real, y'all. If y'all wanted to listen to the list, like I said, it's complex. I mean, what is it on? It's complex.com, and it's A21 Films list. If, say, my ladies can tell whatever, I may put in the description, hopefully, to just copy and paste the list article inside the description of this podcast, and then it'll be also available, say, if you're listening to YouTube. So that way y'all can take the list, like, and judge, like, does anything need to be on here? Because, like I said, if I had enough time, and until I get the next upgrade package where I at least have up to 3 hours to talk, then I would talk. But I know I already went through this movie last night, but this is a movie I definitely want to see. It's The Last Black Man in San Francisco. So we're going to take off. I know I was on number 5 and had 4 more films left out of the 24. They were going to rank it like from lowest out of the best to the highest, which, like I said, y'all, I'll just say this. You'll be surprised at number 24. Unless, it might be your cult classic. Y'all may like Birdemic or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all. So, this is a good film that a lot of these films I have heard about, but I have not seen. Okay? Some of them, or at least half of them. Okay? And some of them I have not seen at all and have no intention of seeing them. And some of them I do want to see, like This Last Black Man up in San Francisco. And it was released June the 7th, 2019. And, okay, easily one of the best films. Like I said, I kind of speed through last night, so I'll repeat again. The Last Black Man in San Francisco is a stunning, intimate production made by 2 best friends. Taylor Tabot and Jamie Foxx wrote a story based on Phil's life, which in turn Taylor directed and Phil starred in. It centers on Jimmy, a young black man displaced in San Francisco after years of gentrification forced his family out of their Victorian home. He holds an emotional bond with inspiring playwright Montgomery Allen, brought to life by a cashmere performance by Jonathan Mayers as they work together to reclaim what is taken from Jimmy's family. So, like I said, okay, so this is the one I speed in, and then it was like damn near 44 seconds left, and I didn't want to continue where I'm cutting off shows and shit, so I had to stop. So anyway, dang, I'm getting notifications again. Okay, it's already damn near 8 minutes going in, okay? So Ex Machina, okay, was released date on April 10th, 2015. So like I said, if you go and not watch, but read the article itself, and you feel like going through all these words, because it's like damn near like a little short story book, a short story of the details, but I give them credit that they give nice details about the description. It's been a little over 4 years since novelist screenwriter made his directorial debut with Ex Machina, and I got to shake the final single. As Helms is a slick, devious splitter that dissects the increasingly dubious relationship between man and machines, so forth. Okay. It just gives like a reason. No, don't of course talk about the whole film. Okay, number 4. Now this is a recent movie that just came out last month, but you want to be technical still, it was last year. And it's called Gems, which actually stars Adam Sandler. Now I've been hearing about this film, and when I seen the comments on Complex Instagram page, they said I don't like the movie. I do like the movie. I don't like the movie. Okay. I'm trying to see, just scan real quick. Okay. Pulling up inspirational lies. Okay. Howard Randner, I think that's the character Adam Sandler plays. A 2-bit jeweler, gambler family, and elite train wreck. It's Howie's reckless ambitions and perverse commitment to score big that makes comes just so engrossing. Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It really doesn't tell a lot about the movie. It's like one of those things you have to see for yourself, unless you go on Wikipedia it and see if somebody put some information in, or somebody reviewed and put spoilers. That's all I had to say. Now, I'm not going to see number 3, because number 3 is Hereditary, another damn scary movie. You know I ain't play by this stuff. The only movie I'm going to see that is scary, y'all, that I'm able to watch by myself, and I actually watched the interview with includes parts of the movie, because that's how hilarious it was Birdemic. And Birdemic too. I plan on seeing that as well. I think they got it up on Tutu. I'm telling y'all, that's the only movie I can see that is not going to scare me because it's a comedy. It's supposed to be a romantic thriller or horror so-called movie about it, but it's a complete damn comedy. And once I found all the way to bring it up again, but y'all, that's still tickled. The man that I need to start finding classes on YouTube or, like courses, like classes to help me learn how to do Photoshop, or learn how to do Photoshop, or at least learn how to cut and edit in some type of software that I can get at least a damn free trial, and learn, because this man, it turns out, it was originally, and it was even a couple of the people that starred in the film that talked a little bit, you could tell they were kind of embarrassed, they talked about it, but they're like, we really thought this was a joke, we thought it was going to be, the special effects was supposed to be from somebody who was out of school, had went to school to do graphic art, special effects, but instead the person who directed, wrote the film, and came up with the idea in the film, he had to do it himself. So what he did, they didn't show a close up what the program was, but he had his studio. I mean, not to say just because he's using a computer doesn't mean that one computer does not mean that he's incapable of doing certain stuff. Some people have made classics off of Fruity Loops, FL, now it's FL, right? Like, Soulja Boy, certain people have used like just certain software in order to create certain songs and stuff like that. So one instrument or some shit, or even their own voice, the beatbox. But what I'm saying is that he's using, it looked like a damn bootleg window ass thing that he ended up copying pasting the birds throughout the entire movie. That's how they got in there. That's him doing the effects. He learned the special effects himself, which you can tell. I can't. So anyway, okay, now Hereditary was June 8, 2018. I don't know why I thought it came out later than that. Okay. Hereditary is crafted to stand test of time. It's really a horror movie about Hereditary, I think it's dealing, like creeping some demons and devils or some shit. And when it comes to family death and trial comes before a short project. It, like I said, it just gives general, kind of tell you about the movie without telling you about the movie. Okay, so, yeah, so let's go here. First, Reformed, okay, May 18th, 2018, earned his first nomination, first before acquired powerful and steady drama about fate and mortality. It was well-deserved for a not otherwise criminally underrated venture by a Hollywood legend. Even Hawk stars Reverend Ernest Toller, a crumbling man overseeing the operation of a historical church on his last leg, struggling with alcoholism and a crisis of faith. Toller begins to counsel Michael, a radicalized environmentalist who believes his wife should have been an abortion instead of giving birth. Should have an abortion instead of giving birth in a world doomed by climate change. What the hell? Now that's the real fucking horror story right there. F-bomb, oh well. Damn. Okay, throughout their sessions, Tyler finds himself relating to his grim worldview and spirals into completely when Michael commits suicide. Fed up with the hip-hop scene and structural greed, he flirts with radical solutions that leads to a haunting, uncertain end. Now, I will Wikipedia this, but I don't think I'm going to watch this film, okay? It kind of is like, this is one of those movies that seem like a horror movie, because sometimes horror movies not only scary and gruesome stuff and scare tactics and woo, pop out and get you, it's stuff that is kind of like, wow, like stuff like this in real life, you know what I mean, that could happen. And number one on their list is Moonlight. Now, y'all, out of all the movies I just listed, the only movie I have seen is Moonlight, which was released October 21st, 2016. I didn't see it till when you were able to rent and stream it, and stuff. So it's based on Terrell Evans McCain's play Moonlight is a self-relenting look at sexuality, love, abuse, and discover oneself in a complicated, unjust world. Okay. I'm just going to tell you the truth real quick. This is the same man who created the lovely show that I reviewed, and I'm glad they've just been renewed not too long ago, like last month or beginning of this month, for a second season. And it's the same as y'all, if y'all watch Wu-Tang Clan, the American Saga, I heard about that show. I watched Mark Dark's TV's reviews on that show. Shout out to him. He also reviews Power. I forgot what other show. He used to do Empire too, and just like everybody else, they was like, skip it. I think he was like, forget it, like everyone else. And so, like I said, the show is a different perspective where David makes man. I'm taking about David Makes Man, but Moonlight itself, it was beautifully filmed, but it was, personally to me, it was certain areas, and it wasn't meant for us to know, like, okay, what happened to this main character? I ain't gonna lie about that. And kind of like by the time you get to the third scene, it seemed like it, maybe to me, like the most it spent was, it was the 3 parts of the young boy's life. When he was a kid, when he met like actually a couple that helped him, okay, spoiler alert. And it's not also just with the sexuality, but you're dealing with the inner city and the stereotypes that go along with it, dealing with like issue starters, bullying, dealing with issues of like being in a toxic environment, as far as like dealing with the effects of drugs and the circle of like the environment, who is in effects, and the position people are put in. So you can look at it from an angle of looking from sexuality, looking for the part of race, looking at the fact of being a black male, looking at the fact of being a black person in a environment. I can't like say again, but like an environment that kind of like has a effect on. It's just different angles. But it seemed like me the most like memorable part, and this is what Jared Jerome also did a great performance, and I think his name is Ashton. He also plays in Wu-Tang, by the way, and plays in different stuff. He's starting to stand out. But that was the first role that I found about this too, about me. Yeah, the first 2 roles that I found about both these actors was in that film, you know. And it seemed just the part that really stood out, I guess they really wanted to stood out, was during the teenage years. I'll leave it as that. So anyways, y'all, before we get to there, y'all, I may have to change my mind and watch the Grammys. And the reason why is they actually are planning on doing a Grammy. Now, they also got arrested, so Nipsey Hussle has, like 3 awards. Now, I know he was nominated last year for the Victory Lap thing, but I have seen on Instagram that I didn't know, like I said, because first I said to y'all, I might as well take that back, that I was not going to watch no darn Grammys. So I was like, I'll just look the clips, but here's who Grammys 2020, because that's what this show was for. By the way, I've got to tell y'all, this is for, I'm doing this in advance, but it's supposed to be January 23rd, Thursday, 2020. This is what the show is for, okay? So it's pre-recorded, for real, okay? Now, going to this article, which is pitchfork.com. Let me see, did I make sure? Y'all, I'm up here talking. I hope I did not get off. Okay, it's still up there. I thought I clicked off, without saving the complex article. So if I do put it into the description, if y'all want to read it yourselves and have some time, you know what I mean, to read it and go through films, whatever. And if I got to mention, like y'all, like I said, I liked the Moonlight. The filming, the photography was beautiful. It just, of course, like some movies have, they can be good, but still have loopholes in it. Or certain holes where you're not going to know the story. Or like the story is to up your interpretation to certain angles, I guess you can say. Or, how it ended up. So, I ain't going to lie. I wish it was like 15 more minutes. But at least, like I said, at least we got Dylan and it's got renewed. Okay. So. Alright. So, Grammys 2020, Hustle Tribute to feature YG, Roddy Ricch, Meek Mill, and more. So, it's a tribute to the late rapper, LA rapper Nipsey Hussle, and the tribute force will feature Kirk Franklin, DJ Khaled, John Legend, Meek Mill, and Roddy Ricch, and a frequent collaborator and YG. Okay, that was an error day part. Okay. So I may have to watch that because I didn't know. I'm starting to kind of like know too, because I didn't know like Roddy Ricch was really close, to Nipsey Hussle as well, or came up with him as well, got influence. But like I said, y'all, I haven't listened to honestly the Box in a week, and here's why. Is not because I don't like the song. It's just that certain songs now, when I know they start to pick up and the radio picks them up, you're starting to hear them around. He's here on TikTok, and the only reason why I know about TikTok is my nephew on there and stuff, and he got a page and all this. And then some people post their TikToks or part of their TikToks also to Instagram or have videos with that on there or using in their skits. So I'm like, I ain't trying to get bored with the song, whatever, so I'm not, listening to it that much as far as right now. I'm like, I'm trying to take a break. Now, speaking of certain stuff, y'all, have y'all heard about, like, this stuff going on with Wendy Williams and stuff again? I don't usually, occasionally, y'all know I sometimes bring up entertainment. I used to do commentary occasionally on entertainment, like, really, like, 2000, I think, like, 16 or 15 or something like that. And, I mean, like I said, I just been more so doing reviews. And I'm more so, if I'm going to talk about entertainment, they may be included in these podcasts, okay? Like, maybe in the future, because I don't know about, say, like, some people use sound clips, so I know I use sound clips or, from video clips or something like that into the podcast. I'm just trying to make sure if I'm able to do that without, like nothing towards, like, okay, that's copyright penalty or blah, blah, blah. Or if I do decide to do that, I may have to have those shows where they're just stuck on the podcast. And just speaking of podcasts again, I know I keep bringing the podcast again, like, podcast. But I did find out that my show is also on iHeartRadio. And I'm glad I did list it yesterday, y'all, because it did remind me that, oh, yeah, I do have it on there, and I forgot. And ever since I'm putting the description on all the platforms, I haven't put it on there. And like I said, the error with the SoundCloud, I'm just gonna not list it anymore at the moment. It may come back in the future. I don't know. But as far as right now, y'all, if I want more updated, I mean, you got several to choose from. But in the future, and even say once I go back to a regular schedule where I'm not doing so many podcasts, and I go back to whatever schedule I said, maybe it's once a week or twice a week at the most, and that's still several months from now. Like I said, I don't know if I'll go back to SoundCloud, but let's say, there's some partner. I mean, I'm not just trying to say about the money, but just I have several choices that y'all can choose from, and I'm just what? I'm already probably overdoing it with having 12 to 13 podcast platforms in total, including Speaker, which I'm using right now. To record them is a choice. So that's what I'm just letting y'all know. Okay. So anyways, what I want to say was about going back. What was I about to say? I hate that I had lost train of thought. But okay. Now, back to Wendy Williams. Yeah, that's where I was on. Now, Wendy Williams it's only the 20, even though it's 22nd, this is pre-recorded, y'all, so it's supposed to be for 23rd, okay? So, or January 23rd, 2020. Now, Wendy Williams, I didn't see the video, y'all, but Wendy Williams has, this is number 3 in terms of this hot-ass mess in the first month of the year of 2020, okay? The month hasn't carried it out with. Now, like I said, a lot of us, we we had to give credits, Wendy Williams may be messing all this shit, but you have to give it where she is a living legend when it comes into the radio personalities and, giving the scoop of entertainment and alleged information and so forth, right? So, the first thing that came up, because, it kind of has died down, to be honest with you, as far as hearing her and the soon-to-be ex-husband and all that BS, whatever, right? But y'all, now this just was last week, y'all. Remember, they were up there. People wanted to sign because sign her off and get her canceled because number one, she was talking about Jaquain Phoenix. I know I'm probably saying his first name wrong, but Phoenix, and about him having he's he has a unique handsomeness about himself. But then she did had her lip up a little bit to my, he looked like he has to clip lip or hair lip, whatever. And I'm just sitting here what the heck? People felt some type of way because it was okay, there are people, which is true, the kids that were born with and they have to have surgeries or still have to wait or get even some cases have to get, funding in order to have that fixed. And I think he was a basketball or baseball player, and he had to fix it. His child was having the surgery. So Wendy Williams actually apologized on Twitter, and and he donated some money, and he was like, okay, we're straight, blah, 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 but share, if we can turn back time, I got for you, but she still felt some type of way, because, I know she did a movie years ago called Mask, where her son dealt a condition that, had, uniqueness, or, his face was, because I don't want to just say flat out disfigured, you know what I mean? No, I just want to say like a unique condition that affected his face. So she felt some type of way. So people were trying to sign a petition because of that. Then they were taking because of how she felt about Laura Harry feature, dating or, rotation with Future, whatever the hell's going on, whatever, right, at the moment. And we all know it's still baby mama drama with baby number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait a minute, is it 8 or 9, y'all? Because they ain't. I stopped count. Like I said, if y'all remember Sesame Street, the damn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, he trying to get up in that range. Okay, and she just was, and I think it was like Starcador word effect. Like I would take her, I would throw her upstairs, all this other stuff. I would, like basically check her if she was up there dating with somebody like Future already. Him, 36 least young or whatever it is, and she in her early 20s. But the fact is also too, the main thing is that she's dating a man with multiple kids with several different women, and he recently, is trying to avoid and duck and dodge, okay, like doing the Matrix toward these last 2 kids, okay, and so, which is testing that they are actually, siblings. I don't know if he was able to do test or not or whatever, but it's just saying that this man has multiple kids, and he seems to have, a track record, and it just go anywhere, so it's just, And so people felt some type of way about her saying about something about, talking about her, Laura Harry's behavior and how she would quote, quote, do her, you know what I mean, if that was her daughter, about that stuff. And then, like I said, I didn't watch the video, but she basically, passed gas once or twice on the damn air. And I guess people must have heard it, but I didn't want to hear that because I'm like, oh my gosh, like. And so today, y'all, this is another thing. Now, I know I've said I was going to possibly review and catch up with The Real Housewife of Atlanta, and I had to be truthful with y'all, just like the Love at the Lockup, the rating episodes. I may not actually do them, even though I keep saying, because I keep trying to push myself to do it. I'm like, there's so many episodes behind. I could even see it's less than 5 episodes behind, and I catch up with. And the only reason why I definitely going to make up Oval and Sisters, because even though both those shows are hot ass messes, they still held my attention way more than say Love at the Lockup, part 2, season 3, and season 2 and whatever. And so that's why I would finish, even though that's 7, 8. It's just like I said, those are 2 cases where I would already do that since I already had reviewed 3 out of the shows. Because I think tonight is the mid-season finale for both shows supposed to come on tonight. So I know I got to catch up with those, but like I said, that's different because I already at least had a couple shows, and then then I catch up with those. But shows that, there's so many, like halfway in, it's 4 or 5 episodes in, I didn't even get even the first damn episode, may not do it. So even though I was thinking about finishing, I only did the first episode, Real Housewife of Atlanta, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to feel like that. But anyway, speaking of Dee Dee, so if y'all have watched the show, and we gonna say spoiler alert, there was really about this season. Nene hasn't really been on this season. And then she was talking about, Cynthia was talking spat about her, and there was somebody, she said, recorded her. Then it was not the Sunday that just passed, but last week's Sunday, y'all, that allegedly, it turns out that there was no tape at all. People play games. No, well, I didn't say it was recording. I said it was out. It was this. Oh, this no blah blah. And people's not admitting who said what, blah blah blah. So interesting enough, Wendy Wednesday, which, now since she's starting to get her freedom and stuff and get her groove back and every damn thing else, she has, said today that Nene Leakes, something that she had to say about Nene Leakes needs, to tell, if she tells her story or something that, is troubling, that, the girls will understand, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I wish I could tell, because she was talking to Jerry, I think, what is his name? Jerry O'Neill, but he being talked to himself, but he used to play TV series and stuff when he was younger, playing some movies. And she all telling him about him, Nene, just lets people know what's going on with her. And he's like, okay, well, pray for her, but is there something wrong with kids? No, her kids are fine. Is there something wrong with Greg? Is her husband Greg doing okay? Oh, he's fine. And then she's like, all of a sudden, y'all, like, she just needs to tell the truth. He was like, is this something? Where her, she was like, she just needs to say what's going on. I can't say. I have to let it go, or something like that. She said, I'm like, what the hell? So Dee texted her about she was leaving the show, or venting to her that she wanted to leave Real House of Atlanta. Okay, show. And that's what started, where Wendy Williams brought that up and started to bring that up in the conversation, and then talking about if Nene brings up what's going on with her, people will understand, and blah, 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 this stuff, right? And I'm sitting here like, what the hell? So, Nene had said something on a text message like, people should leave conversations private. And it's interesting because I don't know, Wendy Williams is just playing games and, 1-2 stepping and trying to get attention to Nene. Like, this conversation, number one, could have not happened. And it could be just like, Snake, auto tape, Snake Gate, whatever the hell it was, with the Cynthia thing. And no, it's just people playing mind games just to bring attention to the show, or, start up something to bring a storyline or something. And then it could have really happened, and William Williams is like sometimes telling information. It's like, you might as well get a damn bullhorn and, tell the world, because that's pretty much what the hell you're doing. And y'all, this is a story, even though this happened years ago, but that's when I first watched William Williams. I didn't watch every show, but I used to consistently watch more when she first came out, right? And with Stacey Dash, all formerly known as my black card, being taken away and been, completely decomposed, thrown into the garbage, and, being torn to shreds, okay? She went on Wendy Williams, Stacey Dash, and she was talking about how her husband at the current time, like I said, I know it was it was coming the first seasons when Wendy Williams was on there. And here Stacey Dash admitted that, she got her husband, she slept on the first date and all this other stuff. And she was getting a new reality show of her own. And Wendy Williams, y'all, I don't know if it's the same week or the next week after, y'all, but I always remember that Wendy Williams said that she seen on Stacey Dash's phone that something that led along the lines, a message that there was no damn reality show she was getting. So shit, even when saying you're not trying to tell, I'm thinking like, how did she get her phone, whatever? And but she got information. I don't know if it was her. Okay, let me backtrack. Now, either she said she's seen on her phone, or she got information on her phone, Wendy Williams' phone. But let me just say this, is that I'm just remembering on top of my head, but somebody's phone, she was able to get some information to say the Stacey Dash talking about some damn show, ain't no damn show, okay? So we got a whole reality show gate, okay? But that's what I'm saying is, but even though Stacey Dash told the truth, like she's got with her husband and slept on the first date and say all this information about herself, it was just interesting that Wendy was made sure to tell people, the show Stacey Dash was talking about, oh, I seen it on the phone, somebody sent it to me, oh, she don't have no show. So, William Williams, like I said, is like having a bullhorn. And it's pretty interesting that Nene Leakes is talking about privacy should be private when she was talking about this allegedly damn auto tape about Cynthia. Yeah, like I said, it's still messed up saying Wendy Williams, if it is true that Nene said that, and Leakes to say that, and she confidentially came to Wendy Williams about that, or just had one of those moments, and because she's like, who said that, and just was having one of those moments. But at the same time, it's just like, it's pretty interesting to talk about privacy. But we had a whole, half of the damn season of Real Housewives 11 has been over this so-called recording by the proof Cynthia, how she's been talking so much shit about Nene Leakes. So, it's pretty interesting. Okay, so, the whole thing about Dr. Recording and this, but like I said, this is also, remember, Wendy Williams, and I ain't gonna bring up R. Kelly's name again, but remember a couple years ago, and it's before the Survivor R. Kelly, the first one came out, and she said she had a talk with R. Kelly, she said she cried when she heard some of the stuff, and I remember the radio show when she was crying, when she was watching the tape and crying about the tape, the first tape, I'll leave it as that. And she would say R. Kelly had told her some stuff and it made her cry. It might have been the stuff that kind of might have been exposed, especially in this last one, the first episode about Moore. And I don't know. It was just to get information to kind of start like, this is how, unfortunately, the victim, sometimes instead of the victim surviving and moving on, sometimes the victim turns to the monster, and sometimes they don't know the monster, get help, and sometimes they go to a monster and never stop, and they just become the monster themselves. So, I don't know, but that's kind of like the first episode of part 2 is. Okay. So, anyways, she was talking about that, so it may not be so true, but so, what about y'all? Is William Williams is like, okay, messy, but I'm just like, okay. Next story. I have seen a clip, and if y'all remember, Tiffany Badler, also known as New York nickname, before like this was like 14, 50 years ago. It used to be Flavor of Love, like I said, who actually was a spinoff for Flavor Flav of Public Enemy. It all started first when they were on the show called Real Life, where they had different people. And it was, I don't know if it was like a contest, but it was different people from different parts of entertainment. There were artists, some were actors, some were actors, some were models. But a lot of them, I think, had some connection with either music or TV or, being on TV, period. And so he was on the show with Bridget. I forgot what her name is, but she was a tall model, used to be an actress, I think. Not to bring up, I don't know if she used to be married to Rocky. She was one of the guys. The movie was out of Smoke. I don't know. Okay, I got confused. But they ended up falling in love, and he ended up going. It was a spinoff between him and Bridget. And when Bridget realized, okay, we go full rock, but they realized, we can't be with each other. Then VH1 offered him 3 seasons of a show called Flavor of Love. And Tiffany Badler, he gave all these nicknames in this so-called reality show. And both two people, because I brought this up before, that the first 2 seasons were actually from Detroit. Which the first season was Hoops, and New York didn't get chosen, but New York ended up being part, and again, of the second season, and then she didn't get chosen, but because she was so much of this damn personality and stuff like that, she got her own damn, spinoff. I think 1 or 2 seasons, she got her own dating love show, 1 or 2 seasons, and then she got like her spinoff season with the chosen person she chose, that she stayed with, and then that didn't work out, and I think she was about, we just been seeing her on and off, but now she's came back where it's a VH1 little web series called Brunch with Tiffany's, and she talks to different people. I don't know if they're all from reality shows from VH1 or different people. So it's kind of like a cute little scene. They go to these different restaurants, because remember, it's Brunch from Tiffany's, right? So today, they had April Jones. April Jones, like I said, I don't know, they're going to call her the hip-hop R&B version of Yuka Ono, or whatever, which stuff, whatever. But she was on today. It was on like 2 seconds where she talked about, she tried to do her best with co-parenting, with Omarion and stuff, whatever, right? But it was interesting when she was talking about that scene where, when she was just saying, she was just playing, when she decided to film herself being sarcastic, claiming like all these guys want to be with her because she has a fat meow. I'm just gonna say it like that. And then she kept patting. Then she had a friend. She said that was gay. I think. I forgot what her name is. Crystal something the body. I forgot who she was. And she patted her stuff. And she's trying to claim. And this is interesting. What April Jones claims. Okay. Now, this girl has a radioactive or radiation science degree, okay? But, y'all, just because I don't care how much education you have, I don't care what careers, degrees, experience, or whatever you have, you can sit here and be a part of these honor groups, these, high IQ people. You can be dumbass with degrees, okay? That's one of the statements I would say about people. That does not mean any damn thing. I mean, that's good to know Shock where she can give sonograms and all this stuff, because she mentioned that before, I think in the series or something else, like, hey, she has education and so forth, and, but she, brought that up as well, so, but when she's talking about this infamous video where she's having a friend pat her thing, but she was like, the people didn't know she was actually patting my pad, because the girl went pat on her cat, on top of her cat, over the show, so I'm sitting here, because, already, she almost damn near, April was almost in competition indirectly at the time, before Evelyn did hers, and I forgot who else was patting her. So it was April Jones and Evelyn. Who else pat their cat? That patted their cats, multiple times. Okay, like they patted, it makes, you win a prize or something, or gives you a superpower. That's how many times they patted, okay, right? So anyways, y'all, when she was sitting up here, talking about the episode, she up here, y'all, is talking about, well, anyway, it was just a pat. And I mean, it's no big deal, even if she was patting and stuff like that. I'm thinking, like, ain't nobody gonna sit here and pat my pad or something like that. Even then, like, shoot, Pearl up there visiting. Shit, like, what the hell I want you patting my pad for? What the hell? Shoot, so it was just weird. But then she didn't mention about, when they showed more clips of the thing, how, some people do that tongue around wrestling damn thing. It's like a French kiss, or, French, or Frenchy, but half French kiss, French-like kiss, where they, like, you stick your tongues out and the end of y'all tongues meet, like a French-like kiss. But she was doing that. I know she didn't bring that up when she was talking to Tiffany about that, infamous video. But she said she could have slept with Gabe. She should have slept with Gabe. But that's the same thing she said about little Fizz. Fizz the flat. And then it turned out she was having to go, oh, well, I don't, we're just friends. I'm not sleeping with him. But, I could let him, I should let him consider that he's a good friend. And we see where that went. So, I don't know, because she was talking about everything with A$AP Rocky. She was talking about these guys, but she claims like they didn't do this, so that's her word. That's her patted cat, I guess, whatever. And that's what I'm saying. She didn't mention about her, the girl, and her were up here, because she said, I go both ways. I'm a lesbian sometimes with it, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. She said, this is what she said in the video. Her friend ain't stopping her, nothing like that. Like I said, they up there doing the French-like tongue action. Okay? And, so what happened was, after that, she's up here saying, well, but when your girlfriends and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's no big deal. Say about patting cats and stuff like that anyway. We take showers together and stuff. What's the big deal? Excuse me? Is y'all for real? This ain't the people that got nothing to do with people's sexuality. Even if even women, even if they're buddies and they, and if they're, whether they gay or not, or they buy wherever they part, if they part of the rainbow community, stuff like that. Not no girls trying to sit there. You just taking showers with girls that you're not sexually interested in. That you're sexually interested in, that y'all about to smash, whatever. Like I said, that's not. I'm just sitting here like, I don't think so. I'm not trying to take. No, I don't. No, only person want me to shower with me, but unless I'm trying to save money and put one of my kids' picture or something like that, or watch a kid, something like that, a small child. Really, I want in there, besides really more myself, it's a man I'm smashing, I'm with, okay? Other than that, no. So no. She up there just acting like, oh, we just take a shot. Okay. Anyway, this last little story before I get on to, almost finishing my podcast. Y'all, now we heard about this, these sad stories again about the reality is a lot of these childhood stars. Some of them, some cases are able to move on with their lives, and the blessing, thank God, that they're able to not get caught up in the dark hole and so forth. The addictions and all this other stuff and erratic behavior and stuff like that, and get pulled into the dark side. And but Orlando Brown, y'all, just mentioned it, and it's so sad. Even though the picture, he got the filter was black and white, he comes back, and for years he's been dealing with mental health issues and maybe on self-medication, and he's been doing this for some years now. He wasn't even on Dr. Phil, which, like I said, Dr. Phil ain't got no damn license, but yet he's pulling off the psychiatry. Okay, that's another story. And heck, we had to read that article for a psychology class I took, okay, about him with no license, but yet he able to give all this advice. Okay, just really exploring people for ratings. And some people, get like that Catch Me Outside girl, able to get damn, notoriety and all that shit. But anyway, the big little short show, Orlando Brown was just like this. Alright, I say, Nick Cannon, suck my pee, stuff like that. I'm being like, suck my dick. Nick sucked my dick, and he was a female. Huh? I just let him there. So Nick Cannon, which we thought was going to come out with another diss, whatever, like he tried to with Eminem when he was not paying attention, Eminem didn't respond back. Nick Cannon was just like, he laughed out, but he just kind of like, hopefully the man would get help, because there was a whole 5,000 paragraphs he had on the thing. But it is sad about that stuff. But we all know this is only about the same person with Dr. Phil, who had reptile looking ass eyebrows. Eyeglass, contacts, and was talking about kids. And kids, he said first he didn't even know how many kids he had. He said one was 2 years old, and then he said was 17 months old in the womb, and all this other stuff. So hopefully he gets help, because he's been doing a lot of sad and erratic behavior. But that's a sad reality about certain people. So anyways, y'all, I only got like 30 seconds left. So hugs and loves, God bless. And I will definitely see y'all the next one. And I will make sure I put that link in the bottom. So anyway, y'all, take care. And, I'll probably have some more stuff tomorrow. All right, then.